Good afternoon, Sava here from Football Heritage TV. Harry Kane has upset people. Harry Kane, one of our own. Not anymore. Harry Kane has appeared to upset a huge chunk of the Tottenham Hotspur fan base by comments that he made over the weekend in regards to the difference in levels of anticipation, the difference in levels of expectation, and what he has to do at Bayern Munich versus what is expected at Tottenham Hotspur. This has not gone down well with large quarters of the fan base. Let's get into it. We'll have a look and see, has Harry Kane said or done anything wrong? Or are fans being a bit sensitive? We'll also have a look at Vuskovic as well. Luka Vuskovic, who is going to join Tottenham in 2025. And we've just signed the 16-year-old. He will join us when he's 18. Lots to look into. Never a dull day at Spurs. Join us in a few seconds. Yes, good afternoon. So, Harry Kane has upset people. You didn't ever think it was possible, but fans are losing their mind. Some fans, some of the fan base, the rest of us don't really care. He said what he said. It's not really a big thing. It's not something that we didn't know, but let's get into it. So what has Harry Kane actually said? Well, let's have a look. So, according to Fabrizio Romano, this is what was said. I say according to it, he's just quoted it. As you can see here, Harry Kane said, "We wanted to win at Spurs, but if you went a couple of games without winning, it wasn't a disaster. At Bayern, you have to win every game." After winning 3-1 and 4-0 in the first two games, there was talk about not being too happy about the way we played. Top club mentality. Now, there's loads of ways that people are going to break this statement down. The obvious one, the first one from lots of fans is, why did you have to mention Tottenham? Why? Why? The other way of looking at this is, well, he's trying to endear himself to his new fan base, and the pressures are very, very different at Bayern Munich. Therefore, he's just stating the bleeding obvious. But being truthful, not always liked in 2023, is it? So let's have a look. Has he said anything? Let's first of all, we'll park to one side. Did he need to say it? First of all, we'll talk about, was it true? I don't think anyone can refute that this wasn't true. It wasn't a disaster if Spurs didn't win a few games in a row, was it? It wasn't a disaster for Spurs not winning things, because we've seen that through the fact that there's no ramifications. There was no ramifications to players playing poorly. If players played poorly, fans just bigged them up and said they'll be good next year. If players played poorly over a number of years, it was, they'll find their form eventually and trust the manager. If players played poorly and then we said, let's sell them, fans still come on and justify why they shouldn't be sold. Let's be honest. What was the ramifications at Tottenham Hotspur for not winning a few games in a row? What was the ramifications for not winning trophies? There wasn't any. So he was correct. We'll come back to it in a minute. But did he need to say it? Then after talking about winning 3-1 and 4-0, the first two games, that they were unhappy by Munich at the way they played, even though they'd scored 7 and conceded 1. And they went on to say, this is the big one, isn't it? A top club mentality. Now, this is the thing that I think will have peed a lot of Spurs fans off. But a lot of Spurs fans would have been saying these very things themselves. I've said it. I've said we don't act like a big club. For decades, we haven't acted like a big club. So Harry Kane saying it, why does that hurt more? Well, he's not our player anymore. So people are going to be peed off about that. Let's look at the fact that a lot of people refused to believe that he would go to Bayern Munich and that Bayern Munich weren't a top club. They belittle the league. They call it a farmers' league, even though the Premier League is going the exact same way with the same team winning every year. They call it a farmers' league, even though there's good teams in that league, the likes of RB Leipzig, Borussia Dortmund, Union Berlin, Frankfurt, obviously Bayern Munich as well. There's good teams in that league. But lots of Spurs fans didn't want to believe it. The people I worked with daily telling me they're not a big club. Why would he go there? Why would he go there? It will mean more to him to win a League Cup with Spurs than a Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. I was at the time saying, I don't get it. These people live in cloud cuckoo land. Bayern Munich are one of the biggest clubs in world football. Of course, they're a top club. Of course, he's going to call them a top club. And for me, I think what he's doing there is talking about the pressures of being at a top club. Now, you could talk about Bayern Munich win their league every year, but the pressure to do that every year is huge. And the moment you don't, you know about it. And the fans call for your head. And the managers need to be sacked. Yeah, everyone in world football and the media jumps on it. Oh, Bayern Munich have flopped. They're failing. They're doing this. Look at last year. They won the league on goal difference. And their fans were so unhappy. And the manager, Nagelsmann, lost his job earlier in the season. They were unhappy they didn't even make it to the semis of the Champions League. So the expectations are huge at a club like Bayern Munich. Now let's bring it back to the elephant in the room. Did he need to mention Spurs? Now, I'm cool with this conversation because I don't really care what he said. I don't care in one way or another. I don't sit in this camp, that camp. I just don't care. For me, his comments are nothing more than a passing kind of interview. It's like at Spurs, we didn't have to do this. At Bayern, we have to do this. Doesn't hurt me, doesn't offend me in any way, shape or form. I've moved on. I came to peace at the beginning of the summer that Harry Kane would be leaving Tottenham Hotspur. For me, this kind of stinks of really being worried about what your ex is doing. So why are so many fans annoyed? Is it because he didn't need to mention it? Is that why fans are annoyed that he didn't actually have to mention Tottenham? He could have said, you know what? It's been great, my life here at Bayern Munich so far, but the pressure is huge and we have to win these games. And I've never felt pressure like this before. Could he have said that instead of mentioning Tottenham? Is that what fans are annoyed about? Let me know where you stand. As you know where I stand, I don't really care either way. I just don't care. I'd love to know your points of view. Before you ever go at me in the chat, just remember I've said I don't care. Doesn't offend me at all. I think he's told the truth. Should he have said it? Probably not. Do I care that he said it? No. Where are you standing with this? Are you annoyed? Is it a cheap dig? Do you still want him? Because I'm seeing comments now all over social media. Glad he's gone. He's ruined his reputation. All for a flippant comment. The club's top goal scorer of all time. I'll leave that one with you, people. Off the back of that, Fabrizio Romano also broke this news yesterday, which is actually quite strange. It came out of nowhere. I don't think anyone was expecting this. But you can see here an exclusive. Tottenham are on the verge of signing Croatian centre-back top talent Luka Vuskovic. After top project for his development, Vuskovic only wants Spurs, despite interest from 5 more top clubs. The teams being rumoured are the likes of PSG and Man City, so not bad company to keep there. Romano went on to say personal terms are agreed and clubs are finalising the paperwork. Here we go. Now, I'm going to do what I always do. I'm pragmatic with these things. If this guy is one of the best young centre-backs in the world at the age of 16 and we've signed him, superb. No problem with that at all. Great times. Good. Happy about it. At the same time, I'm not going to go jumping crazy because I don't know anything about the player. I'm sure many people are talking already about he's this, he's that, he's strong. I've not seen him. I don't really know. But if this is the route we're going to go down and we're going to go and buy top 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old players, then I'm all for it. The only thing I'm going to caveat is I really do hope that the signing of him, the signing of Phillips, the emergence that people want to see of Dorrington as well from the youth team doesn't detract from the fact that Spurs need to go and buy a top centre-half. I think if we're brutally honest, we need another centre half so that Phillips is fourth choice and that you've got Van der Ven, Romero as your top two. Then you've got Phillips and another as your third and fourth choice. So hopefully we see that in January. We've got to see it. That's how a proper club runs. You let go of players, you bring players in. But Luka Vuskovic, 16 years of age, Spurs going out and identifying talent. Who's identifying the talent? This will be interesting to know. Who has identified this talent? Let me know your thoughts. What do you make of it? Nice, easy video today, people. Nothing too controversial, I hope, in there. Big thank you to everyone who helped us raise money over the 24-hour live charity stream. So we have raised just under £4,600 across both YouTube and the Just Giving page. So thank you so much for that. I can't thank you enough. There were some really generous people. Thank you to all my guests, all the people that donated, some huge donations from the likes of Patrick McCorry, Sean from Spurs Talk Show with a massive donation, donations from Luke who kept putting in. There was from Jamie, from Tommy who kept putting in, massive donations of Blaine Dev who put in £335 for the James Madison shirt auction. So thank you to all of you people. Thank you that we've raised just under 4,600 in 24 hours for the British Heart Foundation. I'm still recovering from it. I'm absolutely shattered. So please please subscribe. We've now gone over 11K and we're looking to move on to the next milestone, which will be 12K. Thank you, everyone. Leave your thoughts in the comments and we'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.